You would agree with me that the Nigerian economy actually requires more energy, like power supply, more than we already have. That has actually propelled people, good-minded people, to think towards bringing in other alternative source of power supply to us. I actually have on set with me Chris Nwachukwu to tell us more about alternative power supply. Chris, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Abuja.
Okay, we
Yeah.
are looking at renewable energy. What is that about?
Okay. Basically, renewable energy is any energy that is naturally provided, that doesn't hurt the environment, that can be easily recreated naturally.
Okay,
So it means an energy that is nature friendly. That is renewable energy.
okay. How available and how affordable are these renewable energy?
Renewable energy is very, very much available all over the place, be it biogas, be it from solar, be it from wind. I'll give you a practical example. I was in class one day when one of my professors told me that it's a petroleum engineering class, and then our professor told me that the amount of sun that hits Niger State alone, I mean, Niger State is just one state in Nigeria,
All right.
is enough to power the whole country. So that made me, realize that we receive abundant energy every day.
Hmm.
You understand? But the problem is we are not harnessing it. So that answers your question that renewable energy is a resource that is very, very readily available in the
Okay.
country and everywhere around us.
Let's look at affordability of this renewable energy.
Yes, on affordability, the renewable energy technology is relatively imported in the country. So, like every other thing that is imported, is a bit relatively expensive. But in the long run, because what we try to do is we're trying to push out this message to the masses that comparatively, renewable energy is much more affordable in the long run.
Okay.
Though it requires, an upfront initial capital to set up because of the imported nature of the technology, like I explained, but in the long run, when you compare it to the alternative, it is readily affordable.
Okay, let's look at the project you've been working on for some time now, because when this whole issue of dabbling into like other ventures of power supply for the Nigerians, a lot of you came into the business. What are you doing for now?
Okay, let me put a bit of context to what we do. GVA Projects, we are a renewable energy solution provider. We pioneered a mini grid technology, basically, which is using captive energy,
Okay,
using captive energy to captive solutions, like mini grid solutions, to provide energy for communities that are off the grid.
okay,
You agree with me that statistics has it that out of the 200 million people in Nigeria, about 120 million people are currently not on the grid. Either they are receiving, they have no access to energy, or they are receiving less than 4 hours supply of energy in a day.
okay,
So that means that there is need for Nigeria to, regig its solution to solving the power problem. So that bettered innovations like the mini grid project, because some of these communities are in very, very unique locations that if the discos want to, extend the current grid, the current national grid to these communities, it's going to take in the excess of 10 years, 15 years to get to these communities. You understand? So there must be like a plug and play solution that can easily provide this energy for these people in their locality.
okay,
So that is where we come in. We provide these solutions. We generate electricity using solar in the community.
okay,
We distribute just like you have your normal distribution lines in the urban setting. And then we use prepaid metering to sell electricity to this community. One of the very unique projects that we are working on, just about commissioning, is the Shimankar project. Shimankar is in Shandam local government in Plateau State. It's a very unique community, agrarian community, very vibrant community of about 2,300 households. It's massive, a very massive community. But for some weird reason, the community has been off the grid since inception. So we are deploying our through partnership with our investors and government agencies like Rural Electrification Agency of Nigeria. We are deploying a 330 kilowatt system in the community, and this is supposed to provide electricity for these 2,300 homes that I mentioned before.
Okay.
This electricity is going to be reliable, affordable, and above all, renewable.
Okay. Oh, so far, how is the acceptance of this project back there? Because most times when you go into communities to do projects like this, you have people who want to come out and say, no, why are you doing this? Of what benefit and all of that? Have you had any reason to be confronted?
Okay, generally, unlike what people believe, rural dwellers are ready to adopt new technology, I feel, more than even the urban counterparts, because once you tell them you're bringing electricity to them, there is this, will I put zeal to, see these projects come to fruition. Although there are pockets of, cultural hindrances here and there, a lot of people can be skeptical, but generally speaking, their level of, anticipation for the project is very high. So most times they really want to, see this project come to fruition. And we've had cases where they tell us stories about how governments and individuals, politicians have promised them, electricity and all that, and it doesn't come to reality. But on the day of commissioning, I mean, the day when you actually switch on this light for these rural dwellers, it's amazing the kind of testimonies you get. And we had cases where we had a 70-something-year-old man crying and, saying he never knew he could
see the smile on my face?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the smile. So you see people who are, they're happy to see these things for the first time. Electricity that we take for granted here in the city and peri-urban setting. But in these rural villages, it's actually a necessity that they've been longing for so long.
I must say your organization is doing a lot. And what would you like the people out there to hear about this, to enable them tap into this very available resource for now?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I believe that NTA has a very large reach. There are a lot of people watching. There are people who are in the cities, who are from villages that are underserved or not even, that doesn't even have access to electricity. So if the federal government of Nigeria, through its numerous agencies, Ministry of Power, Rural Electrification Agency, like I mentioned, Energy Commission of Nigeria, the federal government has identified solutions like this as the least cost solution to providing electricity for our rural and peri-urban settlements.
Okay.
So they are doing a lot of things. A lot of programs are designed to provide electricity for these kind of communities. But you cannot just sit down there and hope that these things will fall on your laps. So if you're in a community or you're from a community like I described that doesn't have electricity access, you can reach out to Rural Electrification Agency, name of your community, GPS coordinates of your community, just a simple letter, because they're currently building a database of villages like this.
Okay.
Yeah, the federal government is doing a lot around, solving these energy needs of these rural off-grid communities. So you can take a step further and make this a bold step for your community. And once they identify these communities, they can, put it in one of the pipeline programs that the federal government has, put in place to solve this kind of problem.
Wow, thank you so much, Chris Nwachukwu, for coming on the show and for throwing more light on the renewable energy supply to us.
Thank you very much.
And it's still Good Morning Abuja. I hope you've learned something from this. Don't go away because we're still on.